Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well and fine. Today's session I'm going to teach you how to teach grammar. Grammar is one of the language components, one of the parts of language that is very necessary, that's very important while speaking in the language. So today you will know how to teach grammar to your students in an appropriate way. So let's go to the lesson is the past simple versus past perfect. So you want to teach your students past simple versus past perfect. To make the difference between how they can use the past simple communicatively and how can use past perfect. The objective of the review part is to check whether students can use the simple past tense. Reviewing the past simple tense will enable students to see the relation between a past simple action and a past perfect action when it is presented. So here, before teaching students the past perfect, you should make a review with the students how to teach the students they know the use of the past simple, because you cannot teach them past perfect if they didn't know what is the past perfect. Procedure. Students are asked to speak individually about what they did on Sunday afternoon. So you will ask students about what they did on Sunday afternoon. Ask a student who or two as a model, and then the student ask each other, means open pair work. You can ask them to work in pairs. They ask each other what they did on Sunday afternoon. For example, Khalid, where did you go last Sunday afternoon? I went to. Now, after the opening, the stage is creating the need. While the students are speaking about what they did last Sunday afternoon, I try to elicit from them what they had done before the afternoon. So when students told you what they did Sunday afternoon, you elicit from them what they had done before the afternoon. So here, in order to make aware them, be aware of past perfect simple. The main objective of this stage is to create the need for the student to speak about an action which happened before another one in the past. The student might be using the past simple past to talk about both the first and the second action. So here, what is the main objective of this stage is to create the need so students can speak about an action. It happened before another action. So that is past perfect. Procedure. I ask individual students to speak about what they did on Sunday afternoon, and then I ask another question about what the students had done before that. So here, because as you know, most of the time we use the past perfect with simple past. So you ask them what they did on Sunday afternoon, then what they had done before Sunday afternoon. For example, Mariam, what did you do on Sunday afternoon? I went to cinema. Teacher, that's nice. And before going to the cinema, what had you done? I had gone to the market. No, at this stage, no overcorrection of errors is going to take place. So even the students, they can say I went, or I had gone, or I go to the market. Don't correct learners' mistakes. Now, announcing the objectives. Here in this stage, what do? You tell your student about the objective of the lessons. The teacher says explicitly the objectives of the lesson is to discover the form of the past perfect and how to use this tense in comparison with past simple, taken on this given example in creating the second stage. Preparation. Students read a small text of your choice which contains both simple and past perfect action and answer the pre-question like this one. What happened before this happened? What happened after this had happened? So here, of course, When you want to teach grammar, you teach it communicatively, using stories, using short texts, using dialogues, using song, using lots of this is communicatively through context. You put the target structure, you put it in a context. So this is the best way to teach grammar. Objective. At this part where students are reading the short text, it's supposed that they will notice the use of the past perfect tense and its relation of the past. So in this stage, students will notice the relation between the past perfect and simple past. So past perfect is an act happened before the action simple. Comprehension is not target per se. We don't target comprehension. Procedure. In pairs, read the text and answer the question. Then students check their answers with their friends. So what do? They answer the question of the short text. Then they check their answer with their friends whether are correct or no. Now the mode of work that you are going to use while teaching grammar. Students will answer the question in pairs, then they share with their pair friends. Rationale. While students pair up, they will help each other not only to answer the complete question, but also to notice the verbs in red. They will help them also to formulate hypotheses about the reason of highlighting the verbs. Whole class discussion of the answers with teacher highlighting the past action through repetition and stressing the adverb before and the verbs in the sentence. So here we see the rationale of using the pairs work, asking students to work in pairs, and the rationale of asking the students when they discuss the answers, okay? Because after the students have discussed their answer with their peers, we can do a whole class discussion. Consciousness raising. The main object of this part is to raise students' awareness to how the past perfect action is used in relation to another action in the past and the time expression it is used with. Students read the text and fill the chart with verbs from the first three sentences. Students are required to pay attention to the logical order of the action. So first action, second action. So here, what is the importance of this stage is to raise the consciousness of the learner. So here students will know that past perfect is an action that happened before simple past. Procedure. The teacher explains the task and draws the student's attention to the sentence where the verbs are highlighted in red color. The teacher explains what is meant by first and second action, means happened before. Students copy only the verbs to the chart. Whole class correction with the chart on the blackboard, explanation of each sentence with a timeline. So this is the procedure that you will do while consciousness to raise the consciousness of the learners. Mode of work. Student do the task in pairs, then whole class discussion of the answers with focus on what comes first and what comes second in reality. Why whole class discussion? Because here what do? Of course, we correct the tasks in a whole class discussion, so each one will know his or her mistakes. Concept checking. Students are asked to transfer the action in the last two sentences of the text into the timeline below, showing which action is first and which one is second. Here, you check the understanding of the learners by this stage that is called concept checking. So using this timeline, past perfect is the first action, simple past is the second action. If the students can know that the first action is the past perfect and the second action is the simple past, so here students are familiar with this the target structure. Objectives. The objective is the activity is to check whether the students are aware of the use of the past perfect tense. Okay, are they aware? Are they on the right path? Students will also use the past perfect verbs in the timeline and the chart to decide about the form verb in the past. So we'll also provide a sentence summarizing the use of the past perfect. So before moving to the practice stage, we should make sure that the students are aware with the use of the past perfect. While transferring the verbs into timelines, students are going to work individually. So here it's an individual work. They will share and discuss their answer with their mates. They share. So peer sharing. A sample is written on blackboard. Students outline the form of the past perfect. Subject plus had plus verb in the past perfect. Students are asked to give one sentence summarizing the use of the past perfect. We use the past perfect for an action that happened before another action. Practice. So in the practice stage, students do exercises, and these exercises on this type should be motivational, should be purposeful, should be appeal to students' needs, appeal to learners' needs and interests and learning styles. And the main exercise to practice the use of the past perfect is controlled and semi-controlled activities. The objective of this practice stage are to give the students more practice and confidence in using the past perfect tense. So why should students practice the target structure? To raise students' awareness to the verbs when and already and how they are used to the past perfect while correcting the exercise. To raise students' awareness to the three sentence mode, affirmative, negative, interrogative in an extra exercise. Procedure. Students do exercise in pairs. Correction follow. Students work individually and do one exercise. They check answers in pairs. The whole class correction follows. Students work in pairs and do the following exercises. So here you can ask them to work in pairs. So here a sample of an exercise, put the verb in the correct form, remind the subject of the remotes. It's an example of the mode of work. Pair work in exercise C, individual work in exercise D, pair work in a direct preparation, whole class correct. So pair work in a dialogue preparation, students act a dialogue so they can use. So as we know that learners are very motivated and excited and interested, and they perform well when they act a dialogue more than when they give just single sentences and single examples. Because role-play dialogues appeal to your interests. Experimentation. Work on develop and prepare through authentic sentences. Work in pairs and prepare short dialogues using the three modes. So students are asked to prepare a short paragraph. What they did last week holiday encouraged them to use simple past. So here it's an experimentation. Learners, they prepare dialogues where they use the target structure. Learners, they write short paragraphs where they use the target structure. Objective. The first stage is to give the student the opportunity to experiment to use the release of the past perfect tense. Caution be kept to the minimum, especially in the past of the verbs. So the objective of this stage, we give the learners the opportunity and the chance to use the target structure communicatively in clear context, in meaningful contexts. So this is the aim of teaching grammar. We teach grammar communicatively. Procedure. So task 1, individual work. Student asked to prepare 4 sentences using both simple past and past perfect. They encouraged to use after, before, already. Having finished, some students will provide examples. The activity takes less than 7 minutes. Some examples. So time limit, setting the time is very important when you are asking students to do activities. Students work in pairs and prepare short dialogues where they use the 3 sentence modes. Task 3, the student is to be prepared at home. Some read their paragraphs as a revision. So this is a homework, and we know the importance of homework, to give students homework, very important. At the end of each session, you should give students homework to do at home in order to reinforce, in order to revise the already acquired competencies. Mode of work. Students provide sentences individually. The students do task 2 dialogues in close pairs. Students read some samples in open pairs. Closing. This is the last stage. That is, student copy the summary chart with the example on the board and the homework. Of course, homework very, very important while teaching the grammar. So this is the lesson of today, in which you have learned how to teach grammar. If you have any inquiries or questions, don't hesitate to write them down in the comments. See you then and have a nice day.